Letco for part 2 of Tuesday night's live Facebook record sale. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know. Let's see who gets on first. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and head to the back. Let me open up my chat so I can see everybody's comments. Who's first here? Josh Holloman? Okay, there we go. Nick Bagaron, James Bragg. Let me head to the back. I'm going to do... I have not pulled April and May's 1-year-old new vinyl. So probably starting tomorrow and Thursday, I'll start having some on-sale new vinyl that's 1-year-old. But in the meantime, we're going to continue pulling 50%. I have our first crate. Of vintage half off. I've already got it up here. Let me condense some crates of new vinyl and figure out what's left over from part 1. This was a buy it now best offer. There's Talking Heads if anybody knows it. That is, or if anybody wants it. Hopefully you know it if you want it. Talking Heads is $31.99. We're not frozen. I was just in the back. All right, let me see what I can condense with that one. This crate here, that was new arrivals. We sold a lot of new arrivals too. There's new vinyl for tonight. That's going to be next along with these. Got some MoFi stuff that surprisingly didn't sell. That's okay though. I'm in no hurry to sell MoFi titles. All right, there's empty crate number 1. Let me go ahead and set... Where's the other buy it now best offer bin we had? That's weird. I know we sold a bunch of them, but... Is it this one? That had been gone through a second time. What is that? Okay, that is the first crate. That was the... Aha. No, that was the punk stuff there. Well, I don't really know. Maybe I've already got them condensed. Maybe we sold a lot more than I realized. That's okay. All right, so... Yeah, I'll just have to figure all this out later. Okay. Not for me, but somebody offered to buy it for $20. Somebody said they would take that Bob Seger Against the Wind we put back for $20. I must have missed that. All right, let's do a quick recap of new vinyl from tonight. It's only one crate, then I'm going to go right into 50% off stuff. We have De La Soul, last copy. De La Soul was dead. This is new and sealed. $36.99 for De La Soul. De La Soul is dead. Kiss Revenge is $33.99. Kiss Revenge, by the way, that originally came out in 90, 80, 90... I want to say like early 90s, somewhere right in there. One of the first 192, somewhere right in there is when Kiss Revenge came out. That's why that's hard to find on new vinyl. Gin Blossoms is $33.99. Gin Blossoms, $33.99. Paul's Boutique, the Beastie Boys, $38.99 for Paul's Boutique. Crown Lands, Fearless, Who Wants One? Last copy. Great stuff. If you hadn't listened to it, go check it out. Crown's Lands is $49.99. Let me fix this camera right quick. There we go. Crowns Lands. We have Tool, Undertow, $33.99. Lisa Davidson. Lisa Davidson on De La Soul. That's sold to Lisa. Fishbone, $44.99. Judas Priest, Painkiller. This is one we don't get as often as we do the other Judas Priest. That originally came out in the 90s too. Either 90 or 93, something like that. That's $28.99. And now into some of the audiophile stuff. We got Marvin Gaye Collected. That is fantastic. Hope everybody has a copy of that. The Best of the B-52s. You may have heard of a song called Love Shack. It's on here, I think. $38.99. If not, I'd be surprised. $38.99 for B-52s, the best of. Carole King, this is Tapestry, live in Hyde Park. That is $44.99. Tony Shore wants the best of the B-52s. Did I get a Crowns List? Yes, the Crowns Land. Thank you for asking, Tony. I read that off earlier, but that's Tony Shore, Bob McKinney, Brent McKinney, and Paul Brothers. Marvin Gaye, Carole King, live in Hyde Park doing Tapestry. That's the full album and other stuff, it looks like. That's limited and numbered for music on vinyl. $44.99. Lisa Davidson wants a Marvin Gaye Collected. When I say this is the essential Marvin Gaye's, we're talking about some of his earliest stuff, as in early 60s, like Pride and Joy, and How Sweet It Is, and Stubborn Kind of Fella. And then it goes into the early 70s, What's Going On, stuff from the What's Going On album. And then the 80s, Let's Get It On. And then it has all the duets going back to the 60s again. Ain't No Mountain High Enough, the OG with Tammy Terrell. It Takes Two with Kim Weston. Great stuff here. Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, another great one. You're All I Need to Get By, another great one. I Heard It Through the Grapevine. And then some of his last songs before he was tragically murdered, such as Sexual Healing. And that is $44.99. That is fantastic. And it's music on vinyl, and it comes with a 4-page booklet. For those that don't know, Marvin Gaye was shot by his father tragically. $44.99. Marvin Gaye Collected. Carole King Tapestry. This is surprisingly still here. The Star Wars Saga. Star Wars Saga. This is the Essential Collection. Music composed by John Williams. $44.99. Music from the Star Wars Saga. That is like a compilation of all the best of Star Wars. Even Duel of Fates and the main theme title. $44.99. Bill Withers, live at Carnegie Hall, $69.99, 2LP. Dire Straits is $69.99. Spider-Man Homecoming, original motion picture soundtrack. It has a pop-up, one of those old classic pop-up gatefold style covers, just like Jethro Tull. Contains 3 sides of music and a Spider-Man etching on side D. That's $46.99, numbered on the back. Spider-Man Homecoming. This is a new release from from MoFi. Warren Zevon, Excitable Boy. I look forward, if no one buys this tonight, I might crack it open. I want to hear what Werewolves of London sounds like at a 45 RPM from MoFi. That's going to sound incredible. Chris Kirkley wants the Star Wars Saga. If anybody else wants one of those, let me know. Haven't had that in a while. The Cars, Candy O, another MoFi pressing, $49.99. I still got all these. I'm really surprised. This is Analog Productions, cut from the original master tapes. Nightbeat, Mr. Soul, which is Sam Cooke, $69.99. That's going to sound like he's in the room with you. $69.99, Sam Cooke. That's from Analog Productions. I got 5 copies of that still. And then, these are the best Lynyrd Skynyrd records you can buy. Pronounced. There's Pronounced, and then there's Gimme Back My Bullets. That is also 100% analog mastering. 45 RPM. Those sound incredible. I own both of those. I've personally listened to that. So when Gimme Back My Bullets comes on, that first track, boy, it sounds like you're getting punched right in the chest, which is a good thing, actually. $69.99. I mean, that guitar kicks in. You know how he does like the clicking, and then he goes right into it. It makes like that squealing sound. I was like, whoa. Sounds like he was in the room. Of course, I had it turned up very loud. George Buchanan wants a Sam Cooke. That's a great decision. And James Bragg wants Gimme Back My Bullets. That's possibly even a better decision. And Chris Kirkley wants one of the new Warren Zevons. Yeah, so the way MoFi does stuff is when they announce that they're doing a title, we're still waiting for Bill Withers to come out, which we took a pre-order for that back in like September of last year. Then all of a sudden they make stuff and they don't they don't even announce it. They just, hey, next week, Excitable Boy's coming out. And then they made this. So $69.99. That was my last copy. That's sold to Chris Kirkley. So quick recap before we do the half-off stuff. All this here is audiophile stuff. You really have to have the right equipment and be really dedicated to listening to your vinyl if you're into that higher quality sound. They're a little bit more expensive, but I'm telling you, Analog Productions especially, fantastic stuff. Make sure you have the right equipment, though, or you're kind of just wasting money. Make sure you have the right equipment. Vicky, I will bring some CDs outside. Yes, we will have CDs outside. Last two records, Kiss, Rock and Roll Over, with the alternate S's, $44.99. That's a German import. And then Howlin' Wolf, the classic blues album. They call it the Rockin' Chair album. That is $38.99. Jay Condi, we still have Painkiller. We still have Painkiller, $28.99. I'm going to go ahead and lay one over here for you. Just let me know, though, that's confirmed sold. One more recap, and then we're going to do half off, vintage for the rest of the night. Kiss Revenge, $33.99. Gin Blossoms, $33.99. Paul's Boutique, $38.99. Jay Condi does want Painkiller. You got it. Crown's Land, highly recommend. Tool, Undertow. I like Tool, too. This is some... It's not for everybody, but it's good. Sober. Wow, first time I listened to it, I was like, okay. And then I listened to it again, and then a little bit more, and I was like, okay, I see why everybody likes Tool now. This is incredible. $33.99. Gin Blossom, sold to Lisa Davidson. Probably didn't really get into Tool, but a couple years ago is when I first really started listening. We got Tool, Doug got a copy of Anima, and that first track came on, and I was like, whoa. First time I ever listened to Tool. Fishbone, Truth and Soul, $44.99. Painkiller, $28.99. Bob Riger wants Tool, Undertow. And these come and go out of print. I mean, last night we had a copy from 2006. We sold for $40 or $50. This is the newest sealed copy. I don't know what year they classify it, but to me it doesn't seem bad because most of all the other Tool stuff is expensive. Undertow, $33.99. Last Chance on Marvin Gaye Collected. Last Chance on the Carole King Tapestry. The other Mo-Fi titles we have is Bill Withers at Carnegie Hall, The Dire Straits, another Music on Vinyl, the new Spider-Man Homecoming soundtrack. I think that's been out for a year or two. Not the soundtrack, but the movie. But first time Music on Vinyl's done it, I believe. The Cars, the Sam Cooke. We have Howlin' Wolf and Kiss. Those are all available. I think Ed Nelson wants HW. That's Howlin' Wolf. Okay, let's do some half-off vintage. That was all the new vinyl from the night. We had 3 crates. That's all that's left. Those right there. So if anybody wants anything, let me know. I've got a crate of half-off vintage I brought up here somewhere. Let me find those. Is this it? This is it. This is it. Okay. I'm going to tell you the price. Let me see here. Let me start a couple new auctions. I don't have much left in this Japanese bin, but I'll try a couple. We've got some check condition ABBA, and we got some pristine Asia. So Asia and ABBA. Asia Astra is in shrink wrap with hype sticker and Obi. Beautiful copy of Asia's, I think that's their 3rd album. That's got the insert with it, maybe a booklet, or is these stickers? Hold on a second. Stickers, $35 start. Near mint and pristine LP. Beautiful. Boy, look at that's cool. You can use those. All these different fonts. Don't let cousin Bud see these. He would want to buy those. Put them all over his truck. All over his Mustang. Asia Astra, $35 start. Cool Asia stickers. And ABBA, it's Voulez-Vous, $35. No, this is an EX copy. This is a $25 start. Voulez-Vous is EX. This is EX. Just a couple scuffs on it. Still going to be beautiful. $25 start on ABBA. We got 2 bids on Asia. Looking for a $25 start on ABBA. Voulez-Vous. Thank you, James Bragg. Seth helped me out there too. Seth can actually speak fluent French. A lot of people don't know that. The Lovin' Spoonful in Woody Allen's What's Up Tiger Lily. VG Plus, $7.50. The Lovin' Spoonful in Woody Allen's What's Up Tiger Lily. VG Plus, $7.50. Everything in here is half off. Carl Perkins. Carl Perkins is $12.50. Half off price, Carl Perkins. Spooky Tooth, Witness. $10 on Spooky Tooth, Witness. Wendy Waldman, the main refrain. Wendy Waldman is $10. Hawaii Five-0, The Ventures. Hawaii Five-0 is in shrink wrap, $7.50. The Nice, Ms. Longa Vita Brevis. I think that's how you read that. No, Ars Longa Vita Brevis. That sounds like Latin. You know any Latin, Seth? $12.50. Sorry for the sirens. That was an ambulance. New York Rock and Roll Ensemble, $12.50. New York Rock and Roll Ensemble. John Fred and his Playboy band, Love My Soul, $12.50. Asia's at $45 with Tony Shore. No bids yet on ABBA, looking for a $25 start. John Young, first to the Lovin' Spoonful. Tony Caldwell said 10 on Spooky Tooth. That is the half off price. Sell that to Tony Caldwell. Jesse Hood, first on Hawaii Five-0. And Derek Paris is first on New York Rock and Roll Ensemble. Fred, you were second on Hawaii Five-0. Pot Liquor, Levy Blues. Pot Liquor is $12.50. Let's keep these half off. If you want to make an offer, wait till I'm done with the crate. But that could also mean you might miss out on it. So hold all offers till I'm at least gone through these one time, please. Okay. Splinter, Harder to Love. This is on George Harrison's Dark Horse label. There he is. $10 for Splinter, Harder to Love. The Eric Burden Band, Sun Secrets. $10 on Eric Burden Band. Final call on Asia, by the way. Canned Heat in the half-off bin, $12.50. Historical Figures and Ancient Heads. Timothy by the Buoys, $10. Freddie Cannon. Freddie Cannon is $10. Freddie Cannon. That's on Warner Brothers and Shrink Wrap, that original gold label. $10 on that. Derek Paris, first to Canned Heat. Tony Caldwell was second. The Great Society with Grace Slick. The Great Society is $12.50. The Bible, the original motion picture soundtrack album, The Bible in the Beginning. That is $10 after the half off. Jump Up, hey, he just passed away like 8 hours ago or 6 hours ago. Jump Up Calypso, Harry Belafonte, $5. Rest in Peace, Mr. Belafonte, $5. The Live Adventures of Mike Bloomfield and Al Cooper. That is $15 for Cooper and Bloomfield, $15. It's Not Killing Me, another Michael Bloomfield. That is $12.50. Great Getting Up Morning, Mahalia Jackson. Mahalia Jackson is $7.50. That's a mono 1959 6-eye, $7.50. Okay, Asia is sold to Tony Shore for $45. If anybody wants ABBA, it's a $25 buy it now. $25 buy it now on ABBA. Voulez-vous, ABBA. Next was Tony Caldwell gets the Belafonte at half off. That's sold to Tony Caldwell. Matthew Christ, you're second. And Jim Nelson was first to ABBA at a $25 buy it now. Let me run maybe one or two more lots of Japanese titles. What happened to them? They were on that cart. Tanner has moved them on me. Oh, they're still on the cart. They're just behind me. Those are, these are going to be one or two more lots, and then I might bring out a couple more cassettes. Then we can focus on our half-off stuff. ABBA was a $25 buy now. I got a Beatles and a Wings album. Nice. We got Beatles, Get Back, and Don't Let Me Down, a Japanese 7-inch single. This is going to be a $20 start. We have Don't Let Me Down and Get Back. That's two fantastic songs. JoJo was a man who thought he was a loner. Have y'all ever watched the Beatles thing on, what's that called? Is it called Get Back? No, that's what they were going to call it. What's that called on Disney Plus? But when Paul McCartney first starts, he starts just strumming on his bass, and then about 20 minutes later, he's wrote Get Back. You get to see that live. I was like, wow, that's amazing. He starts playing his bass, starts humming, and then about 20 minutes later, you get to see the whole process. He's pretty much wrote Get Back. Then they get all the lyrics worked out a little bit later. But I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Just boom. Wings Over America. Wings Over America. $45 start. So the Beatles Japanese 7-inch singles, a $20 start. Wings is a triple LP. You get, it's called, okay, it is called Get Back. I thought that's what they were originally going to call it. Why was I thinking it was something different? I guess it wasn't. $45 start. There's all 3 pristine LPs. This has the poster with it, Wings Over America poster. You get the Japanese lyric book, and this has all 3 inner sleeves. So, 3 LP, poster, booklet, inner sleeves, and a really nice jacket. Look at the amazing artwork on the gatefold. $45 start. Darren Myers in. Back to the half-off stuff. Emmylou Harris, Evangeline, $7.50 on Emmylou Harris. This is not supposed to be in here, but I will sell it to somebody. This is Stepchild Hanging Around. This is supposed to be in our $4 bins. So that means somebody can have this for $2. Hanging Around Stepchild. Sick of Getting Treated. So $2 on that. It was in one of our $3.99 bins. Willie D, Playing With Your Mama, $7.50. No, it's Bram Tchaikovsky. Pressure, $7.50. Wings is at $48. Leslie Holt wants Emmylou Harris. Gary Samuels wants Stepchild. That's $2. Doc Smith was second. The Beatles 45 is no bid yet. We're looking for a $20 start, Jake Rogers. Poco, $5. Poco Under the Gun, $5. Poco Indian Summer, $5. Henry Gross, Show Me to the Stage, $5. The Uniques. The Uniques is $15. The Uniques, $15. On Paula Records. Wings is at $50. The Swingin' Medallion, double shot, $12.50. Plastic Land, Wonderful Wonderland, $10 on Plastic Land. Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive, $5. England Dan. Cruisin' 1959. Cruisin' 1959 is $7.50. Rick Wakeman, 6 Wives of Henry VIII, $10. The Best of Dionne Warwick, $5. Ricky Skaggs, Country Boy, $7.50. Quicksilver Messenger Service, the original Quicksilver Messenger Service, Solid Silver, that's $10. Pure Prairie League Live, $13.50. James Ingram, It's Your Night, $5. Wings is at $50, going once, going twice. Give me 1 second on Poco, Tony. Gary Samuels is at $52 on Wings. Derek Paris wants Plastic Band. That's sold to Derek Paris at half off. John Duran wants Cruisin' $59. That's sold to John Duran at half off. And Tony Caldwell says he'll take the Quicksilver for half off. Lawrence Welk, The Christmas Song, that is $3.50. Ricky Skaggs was $7.50. Grupo Sportivo, 10 Mistakes, that is $7.50. Lines and Ghost is $7.50. Elvin Bishop, Hog Heaven, $7.50. And the 5-man electrical band, Sweet Paradise. This is $10. $10 for 5-man electrical band. Greg Stone said sold on Ricky Skaggs. That is Country Boy. That's sold to Greg Stone. Wings is at $53. Jim Nelson. Y'all are throwing me some curveballs putting the prices. I don't know if y'all are making offers or England Dan John Ford College. Jim Nelson said 7, but it was 5 after the half off. So I guess Jim Nelson wants that for 5. England and John Ford Coley. So sell that to him half off, which is 5. We've already pulled that for Greg. Leslie Holt wants LW, which was Lawrence Welk, and Tony Caldwell on Grupo Sportivo, $7.50. Tony, you don't have to put the price in the comment. That actually, I think that you're making an offer, which I'm actually skipping over. So sometimes, so you just have to put Grupo. That usually, if you put a price, that makes me think you're making an offer, and sometimes I have to pause to make sure nobody else has claimed it. So, okay. So Gary Samuels at 54 on Wings, and I think, let's see, we had a $10 offer on the Uniques. Charlotte and Frank, just hold that until I go back through these a second time. Bangor Flying Circus. Bangor Flying Circus. That is $10. Charlie Parker, Volume 4 is $7.50. Zappa, Frank Zappa, Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch. $15 on Frank Zappa. Count Basie and his orchestra featuring Joe Williams, Breakfast Dance and Barbecue. That's from 1959, $15. Graham Parker, Another Gray Area, $7.50. Justin Wilson, Not for Cajuns Only, Going Fishing. Justin Wilson, that is $7.50. And Jimmy Cliff, Reggae Night, $7.50. Okay, the high bid on Wings is $54. Condition of James Ingram, it was near mint. What's on Electrical Band? It does not have the hit song Signs on it. Wings is at $55. Doc Smith was first to Charlie Parker. Orlando Martinez was first on Zappa. Mike Langford was second. Craig Thomas first on Charlie Parker. Or did I already pull that? I did. Doc Smith already got Charlie Parker. So, Craig, you were second. Sherry Darnell wants the Justin Wilson. Ken Helpland, you were third on Charlie Parker. Derek Paris wants Bangor Flying Circus. And Jimmy Cliff tracks, that's Reggae Night and Reggae Night. And Marcia wants the James Ingram. Okay, so final call on Wings Over America. That's Darren Meyer has that for $55. If anybody wants to get back and Don't Let Me Down, that's a $20 buy it now. That might be two of the Beatles' best. $20 buy it now if anybody wants that on the Beatles. The Best of Farron Young, $5 on the Best of Farron Young. Joe Liggins is $10. Great rhythm and blues oldies. Joe Turner, $10. These are all compilations. We got Joe Liggins, Joe Turner, Johnny Otis, Charles Brown, and it looks like one more, Louis Jordan. Those are all $10. Those are all different volumes. That was Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and Volume 6. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Talk About Hits, Farron Young, $5. The Singing Cowboy, Rex Allen, $5. The Statler Brothers, Entertainers on and Off the Road, $5. The Longinus Symphonette Society presents Nat King Cole, $5. Dennis Day Young, Desert Moon, that's a VG copy, $5. And the classic Alberta Hunter, VG Plus, $7.50. Leslie Holt wants SB, the Statler Brothers. Wings, we have somebody out. So that means we can sell it to Darren Meyer for $55. Wings Over America is sold for $55 to Darren Meyer. Helen Reddy, I Am Woman, $4 on Helen Reddy. And the Wild Geese, original motion picture soundtrack. Doc Smith wants Nat King Cole. That's sold to Doc Smith. Quicksilver is a VG copy, $5 for Quicksilver. Arlo Guthrie, VG copy, $5. Herbie Mann, Glory of Love, VG, $5. Homer and Jethro at the Country Club. That's a VG Plus, $7.50. Bob James, Foxy, $5. And the Tatum Solo Masterpieces, Art Tatum, $10. $10. Doc Smith on Herbie Mann. All right, I'm going to breeze through these titles one more time. If anybody's interested in making an offer, or if you want to go ahead and claim them, let me know. I might go ahead and tell the prices. Let me see what I've got over here I can auction. Let me take about 3 steps over here. Let's see here. We got 2. That one's cracked. I'll have to find a better case for that. And this one's just volume 2. I know for sure I don't have volume 1, but well, let me wait because I might find it. Okay, well, I don't have enough of these set aside, so probably the last cassettes because I have to go through them, trying to pick out what we have. So, okay, Doc Smith also wants the Art Tatum. I got 2 cassettes up for auction. We have Queensryche Empire, $7 start, original 1990 cassette. Queensryche Empire, original 1990 cassette, $7 start, Queensryche Empire, and ZZ Top Diguelo. I think that's how you say that. That is a $5 start. 7 and 5. 7 and 5. Doc Smith wants the Art Tatum. And can I see the Wild Geese? How much for Wild Geese? We have soundtrack for Wild Geese, composed and conducted by Roy Budd, Joan Armatrading. Written includes the song "Flight of the Wild Geese," written and performed by Joan Armatrading. This is a white label promo. This is a white label promo, and the half off price is $10. The half off price is $10, and it's near mint. Okay, one more time through these. If you want prices, let me know. Carl Perkins, Wendy Waldman, The Nice, John Fred, Pot Liquor, Splinter, Eric Burden Band, Timothy, The Buoys, Freddie Cannon, Grace Slick, The Great Society, The Bible, Mike Bloomfield, Al Cooper, Mike Bloomfield again, Mahalia Jackson, Willie D, Brom T, Poco, and Henry Gross. Rob Scheffler is at $7 on the Queensryche cassette. Fred Carnell says he'll take the Wild Geese soundtrack at half off. Derek Paris said 5 on Pot Liquor. Sell that to Derek Paris for 5. John Porter wants Eric Burden and Pure Prairie League bundle. Eric Burden was right here, and Pure Prairie League was right here. This was $10 and $13.50. Let's go ahead and do 9. I'll do 18 for both of them. 9 and 9. How could you say no to that? Derek Paris, Splinter. The half off price on Splinter was $10. The half off price on that was $10. Sell those to John Porter, 9 and 9. Final call on Queensryche for 7. We got Henry Gross, the Swinging Medallion. Rick Wakeman. Steve Henry just commented on an old video. For the 3rd time, please bundle on Henry Paul. He's watching the wrong video again. Or somebody's watching the wrong video. Or for another time, somebody's watching. We've had 2 or 3 people every night watching the wrong video. The Best of Dionne Warwick, $5. Lines and Ghost is $7.50. Elvin Bishop, the 5-man electrical band. The Uniques, Count Basie, Graham Parker, Jimmy Cliff, Farron Young, Joe Liggins, Joe Turner, Charles Brown, Johnny Otis, Louis Jordan, Farron Young, Rex Allen, Dennis DeYoung, Alberta Hunter, Helen Reddy, Quicksilver, Arlo, Homer and Jethro, and Bob James. Okay, how much on the Willie D? The Willie D was $7.50. Condition of Cooper and Bloomfield. Condition of Cooper and Bloomfield. That was right here. I don't have any notes here on the vinyl. Let me make sure on that. Yeah, very clean vinyl. About a VG Plus cover. Has a little bit of wear there. That is $15. Which nice. That was the ARS Longa Vista Brevis. $12.50. Derek Paris offered 7 for the Uniques. Well, somebody earlier offered $10. I told them or $15. I told them to hold their offer. They either fell asleep or decided they changed their mind. But let me hold that to make sure he doesn't offer that again. And we have Poco Triple Pack for 11. Let's make it easier and say 444, which is 12. Tony Caldwell, 444 on those, which would be 12. Doc Smith said sold Willie D at the half off. Yeah, somebody's watching the old feed. Somebody else has commented too. They're watching the old feed, and they're mad because I'm ignoring them. So, let's see. Charlie, there's Charlie. He says Swing a Medallion and the Uniques for 20. Okay, there you go. And Derek Paris, he had first dibs on that one. So let's sell both of these to Charlie DeFrank, 10 and 10. And Tony's good with Poco at 12. And the price on the Oldies. They were all $10 each after the half off. We got volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. All right. Charlie says, thank you, I think. And Rich Group said 10 for that. Sell that to Rich for 10. Let's go ahead and sell Rob Scheffler Queensryche for $7. If anybody wants the ZZ Top cassette, $5. Brent Robley offered 8 on the nice. Sold to Brent Rabley for 8. Michael Nath, if you want 5, I'll sell you those for $40 if you want them, Michael Nath. All of them. Hey, look, it just popped up. All 5 for 40. Boy, we have ESPN. Mind reading. ESPN. That's what James Norris calls it. Okay. Anybody else on anything in this crate before I go restock? We, on average, sell a half a crate every time I go get a half crate of half off. So if I go get a whole nother crate and we can sell another half of a half off bin, then that would be great. That's a whole crate of half off records going to new homes. Don't be afraid to make an offer. Let me go do that right now. Let me figure out. Yeah, those are half off. All these coming across the table are half off. Let me go to the back and fill up another crate. Sorry, there was my nightly neck adjustment. All right, sorry, I pulled some stuff from a soundtrack bin. I pulled some stuff from a country bin. No John Prine, no Dwight Yoakam, no Chris Ledoux. Oh yeah, well, we did have a John Prine. Okay, I'm back. What I was saying is Dwight Yoakam is highly desirable. You'll never see him laying around. Dwight goes to new homes pretty fast. Okay. More half-off records. Bob James and David Sanborn, $5. These are all half off. Jay Giles, Monkey Island, that's a VG copy, $5. Richard Harris, A Tramp Shining, VG Plus, $5. Amos Milbourne, that is a VG copy, $5. Joe Tex, Hold What You've Got. Joe Tex is a VG copy, $10. A Session with Gary Lewis and the Playboys, VG Plus, $5. Tonight I'm Singing Just For You, Country Joe McDonald, VG Plus, $7.50. Walter Egan, Not Shy, VG Plus, $5. Linda Ronstadt, Get Closer, That's a sealed copy. Sealed, unopened, $10. Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods, $5. The Good Time Pickers, Just Pickin'. That's a sealed copy, $12.50. Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent. Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent, Their Finest Years, 58 and 56. Gold stamp promo, $10. Kenny Rogers, Gideon, $5 for Kenny Rogers, Gideon. The Village People, $7.50. Poor Boys, Ain't Nothing in Our Pocket But Love. Poor Boys is $7.50. Doc Smith wants Bob James and David Sanborn. Jim Nilsson on the Linda Ronstadt that was sealed. And yes, our Wi-Fi is fixed. Thank goodness. Back to normal operations. DC Cab soundtrack. DC Cab soundtrack is a VG plus $10. Gary U.S. Bonds, Peebo Bryson, DeBarge, Stephanie Mills, Giorgio Moroder doing some of the score, I'm assuming. Paul Gill on Kenny Rogers. Paul, I pulled a couple country half-off records in here just for you and some of our other country buyers. If we have time, I got a crate of country I'd really like to go through if we can do it tonight. Arlo Guthrie, Running Down the Road. Arlo Guthrie is $10, Running Down the Road. Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps. Gene Vincent is $7.50. Ralston Purina Presents. That's like an old, it's supposed to look like an old advertising record, which I guess it is for Purina. It is, but $10. That's the Tom Mix, the old Western Tom Mix radio broadcast. $10 for Tom Mix. Janie Fricky, It Ain't Easy. Janie is $7.50. W.C. Fields, the original voice tracks, his greatest movies. That is $7.50. Tom Jones Live is $5. Barbara Streisand, Lazy Afternoon. Barbara is $5. Little Stephen and the Disciples of Soul, Men Without Women. Little Stephen, $5. Anne Murray is $5. Secret Admirer soundtrack. Climax, Nick Kershaw, Tony Carey, Van Stevenson, Jan Hammer, $10. Into the Purple Valley, Ry Cooder, $12.50. Mother Focus, that's a wild cover. I guess that's Focus Mother. It is $10. I have a feeling Derek Paris is going to buy that. Hillbilly Music Volume 1. Hillbilly Music, $12.50. This is a good one on Capitol. Louvin Brothers, you get Buck Owens, Merle Travis, Farron Young, some of the early stuff there. Russell S. on Little Stephen. Little Stephen is sold to Russell S. Derek Paris on Focus. I Knew It. And Gary Samuels on the Hillbilly Music Comp. Those are all sold. Charlie Rich Collector Series. These usually have really good songs on them. $5. Charlie Rich, as in, like comps. $5. Charlie Rich Behind Closed Doors. Boy, they really went all out with these on these hype stickers. They put Grammy, Entertainer of the Year, Award winner, $7.50 on Charlie Rich. Work It Out, Chet Atkins, $5. Pure Bathing Culture, Moon Tides. Pure Bathing Culture, $10. Merle Haggard, Someday We'll Look Back. That's a VG copy, $5. Merle Haggard, The Fighting Side of Me. Merle Haggard, $10. Merle Haggard, It's All in the Movies. VG Plus, $5. Kenny Rogers, Love Will Turn You Around, $5. Rob Scheffler, first to Chet Atkins. Paul Gill, you're second. And Paul Gill wants Merle Haggard. I've got 1, 2, 3 there for you can pick from, or you can have all three of them. Jerry Reed, Georgia Sunshine, $7.50. Jerry Reed, Willie Nelson, Me and Paul, $12.50. Hank Williams Jr., 14 Greatest Hits, $12.50. Walt Disney, The Moon Spinners. The Moon Spinners is $17.50 for the Moon Spinners. Jazz Waltz, Les McCann and the Jazz Crusaders, $10. Paul Gill wants Merle Haggard and Merle Haggard. Those are both sold. That means Merle Haggard, It's All in the Movies, is still available. That's $5 VG Plus. John Porter wants the Hank Williams Jr., 14 Greatest Hits. That's sold to John Porter. And Gary, the Merle, your one, it's already sold. There's Jazz Waltz. Tony Bennett sings his all-time Hall of Fame hits. Tony Bennett, $5. Dance to the Best of Bostic. Earl Bostic, $10. Johnny B. Good soundtrack includes Johnny B. Good performed by Judas Priest and new music by Ted Nugent, Kix, Saga, John Astley, Miles Goodwin. That is $10 after the half off. The Rovers, Wasn't That a Party? The Rovers is $5. Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, $5. Jazz at the Philharmonic, the Coleman Hawkins set, $7.50. Al Jarreau, live in London, $5. Gary, Tony, Derek. Tony Caldwell, first to the Johnny B. Good. Gary, second. Derek, third. The Best of the Pointer Sisters, $10 for the Best of the Pointer Sisters. The Zawinul Syndicate, Black Water, the Zawinul Syndicate, $10. Vicki Allison first on the Rovers, and Doc Smith first to Coleman Hawkins. Charles Brown, one more for the road. Charles Brown is $7.50. Third World, all the way strong, $7.50 for Third World, all the way strong. David Sanborn, Closer Up, Gold Stamp promo, $5. Bud Shank, Tomorrow's Rainbow, $7.50. And Danny Gottlieb, Whirlwind, $7.50. We didn't sell those. I wonder what I did there. Did I give you the 2 Merle Haggards? Why did I pull Arlo Guthrie and Gene Vincent? I wonder if I pulled 2 records by mistake. No, nothing else in here has sold. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, I don't know why I pulled those. Gene Vincent and Arlo Guthrie, though, are $7.50 and $10 for Arlo. I'll put those back in there. I'm not for sure how that happened. Doc Smith on Charles Brown, and Doc Smith on Third World. You just put them up there when you're showing them. There you go. I just naturally, I just thought, there's no way nobody's going to buy this Gene Vincent. Gene Vincent's in that category with Buddy Holly. Gene Vincent used to be at the top of the list with record collectors probably about 20 or 30 years ago, probably more so 30 years ago. I can't tell you the last time I've sold consistently Gene Vincent records. Of course, this is a later issue. His early stuff, it's still hard to get. It still brings decent money. But if you go back probably mid-90s among record collectors, Gene Vincent was up there with the Buddy Holly stuff. But, of course, like I said, this is a later reissue. But his true first pressings are still not easy to get. But I've had them here before. Fred Goodwin had them in his collection. He was really hyping them up when he was trying to sell them to me. He's like, I got all the original Gene Vincent stuff. And I was like, unfortunately, it's not 1993 anymore. Danny Gottlieb and Dizzy Gillespie. Dizzy Gillespie is $10. You put them in sold versus returning bin, no sale. Okay. Boy, y'all got eyes on me. Y'all are watching my every move. Eric Clapton and the Yardbirds. That's a Springboard, which is an off-label compilation, $10. I've listened to it, though. It's good. Dexter Gordon, Nights at the Keystone. Dexter Gordon is $10. If they have this red tape on it, this came from a radio station. MTSU, right down the road, Middle Tennessee State University. They had a jazz radio station in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Their first few years, they were rock. Well, we actually got to buy out their inventory about a year ago, and we're actually going this week. Hopefully, Mr. Ed, who lives in Murfreesboro, can pick them up for me, but we're buying their jazz CD collection. It's like 5,000 CDs. So, Ed, if you're watching, they're not all going to fit in your Bronco. But I've pretty much bought them through email. But I don't, and also I'm like, what am I going to do with 5,000 jazz CDs? I hope list them on Discogs, but it's a bunch. But that was where we got all those killer soundtracks. It was incredible, the soundtracks they had. They played a lot of soundtracks at that radio station late at night. Doc Smith got Dizzy Gillespie, Nick Bagaron on Eric Clapton, Gary Samuels was second, and Doc Smith on to Dexter Gordon. So if you see that, these are from a radio station, and a lot of them are, you can tell, promo copies. They're promo copies. So anytime you see that red tape, that's where those come from. Dick Gregory, Live at the Village Gate, $7.50. Rita Coolidge, Love Me Again, $5 for Rita Coolidge. Ooh, Wings Over America. What's that doing in there? $20. That's a triple LP live. That's a U.S. pressing. $20. Cat Stevens is $7.50. Gene Vincent is still available. No, Gene Vincent. I laid that out for some reason, but no one bought it. Gene Vincent, $7.50 if you wanted, Ed. Rick Springfield, Tao, $7.50. And Lee Greenwood, You've Got a Good Love Coming. This has God Bless the USA on it. Now, what a song. When you play it, bald eagles start flying over your house. John Porter on Wings Over America. Ed Nelson said he'll take the Gene Vincent. Great early rock and roll music. We need to get Gene Vincent and Buddy Holly on Stranger Things so we can have a revival. And that's what I've been looking for, the red tape. Well, Doc, there's a whole nother bin in the back where I pulled those out of. I guess I need to go grab a few more, right? Let me go through these one more time very quickly because I'd like to go through one more bin. I know we've almost hit midnight, but I was hoping we could do one more bin. Let's try to sell about one more handful in here. We got Jay Giles. If you want prices or if you want to go ahead and make an offer, let me know. Richard Harris, Amos Milbourne, Joe Tex, Gary Lewis, Country Joe McDonald, Walter Egan, Bo Donaldson, the Good Time Pickers, Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent. There's another one, Eddie Cochran. That is their finest years, 58 and 56, gold stamp promo, $10. The Village People, Poor Boys, DC Cab still available. The Tom Mix radio broadcast, Janie Freaky, W.C. Fields, Tom Jones Live. He's doing It's Not Unusual. That's his best song in my opinion. Barbara Streisand, Anne Murray, Secret Admirer soundtrack, Ry Cooder, Charlie Rich, please make offers or claims. I'm here to sell these. Moontides, Pure Bathing Culture, and Merle Haggard, It's All in the Movies. And this is VG plus $5. Vicki Allison wants Tom Jones. Vicki Allison on Tom Jones. Fred says he called Eddie Cochran the last time. I did not see that, but it's yours now. That's sold to Fred Carnell. Eddie Cochran. Arlo Guthrie is $10. Kenny Rogers, $5. Jerry Reed, Georgia Sunshine. Jerry Reed is $7.50, and that is on the original orange RCA label. Does Charlie Rich have Looking for Love? Let's see here. Looking for Love. It is not on that one, and I don't think it's on this one. I don't see it on there. No. Cat Stevens and Barbara Streisand, $10. Was there a Cat Stevens in here? There's Barbara Streisand. Go ahead and sell that to Rich Group. Cat Stevens. Maybe back here. I don't see it. Mark him down for that one for $5. And let me try to find Cat Stevens. Let me finish the bin. Well, let me just lay it over here, actually, till we can find it. I pulled Barbara back out. You said Foreigner LP was Cat Stevens. Okay, I must have not got to it yet. Okay, give me 1 second. Willie Nelson, Walt Disney Moonspinner. There's Jazz Waltz. Somebody just asked for that. Tony Bennett, Bostic, Gary Puckett, Al Jarreau, the Pointer Sisters, the Zawinul Syndicate, David Sanborn, Bud Shank, Danny Gottlieb, Dick Gregory, Rita Coolidge. There's Cat Stevens. Okay, so Barbara and Cat, $10. Those are sold to Rich Group. Merle and Kenny for Paul Brothers. Merle is right here, and Kenny was a couple more back. I think. Let's see here. I might have, let me just start from the front here. I flipped through a lot of records. There it is. All right, so those are both sold. Those are sold to Paul Brothers at half off. Derek says 5 on Jazz Waltz. Sell that to Derek for 5. And the Poor Boys for 5. All right, and that was the green looking one right back here. Poor Boys, Poor Boys, Poor Boys. Right here. That's also sold to Derek for 5. What's Jerry Reed in his popular songs? Let me pull it, and then I'll let you determine that. Well, actually, Steve Carmichael says he wants it. We got Georgia. It doesn't have take this job and shove it. I can tell you that. You leaving, Seth? You got to sell drugs in the morning. Well, there's a lot of probably people doing that right now here in Lebanon. Yeah, Georgia Sunshine, Good Friends and Neighbors, Mule Skinner Blues. That's all part of Losing. 8 More Miles to Louisville. Amos Moses, Sweet Dreams About Me, The Preacher and the Bear, Ugly Woman, Talk About Good Times. If you don't want that, Mr. Greg, that's sold to Steve Carmichael. Let's Looking for Love is Johnny Lee, not Charlie Rich. And Doc Smith says Dick Gregory price. Doc Smith, that is $7.50 after the half off. And the last claims in here was Willie and Jerry Reed for $10. Well, Jerry Reed's already sold. Greg passes, so that goes to Steve Carmichael. So Paul Gill, let me know. I'll sell you Willie Nelson. It was $12.50. I'll sell you that for $8 if you want it. I'll sell you that for $8. It was $12.50 after the half off. And Wayne Tisworth says Purina for $5. I just received $64.99 on PayPal. Somebody just must have bought something on Discogs. Willie for $5. Or Tom Mix. Sell that to Wayne for $5. Sold. Willie for $8 to Paul. And Doc Smith $5 on Dick Gregory. Mission accomplished. We sold another half of a half off bin. So we've sold one full crate of that stuff. Okay, now let me go to the back. I'm going to grab some more of those jazz titles, especially from that record store, record station. I'll go grab some country. I think we have a few country buyers on. I've got some really good country, like early Waylon and stuff like that. I'll do half off or even best offer, if because some of it's maybe like $50 records, but I mean at half off, they're probably steals. Give me 60 seconds to fill up another bin. All right, let's see how many more. I felt like that was longer than 60 seconds because I had trouble finding the country bin I was talking about, but I did find some. So, Mike Post said LG. What was LG? Was that something out of the last bin? Lee Greenwood. Yep. Figured somebody'd want that. That's sold to Mike Post. Half off continues. I'm going to go right to it. Caravan. I grabbed some stuff out of another bin too, so this might be some pretty good titles in here. This is Caravan, recorded live at Metropolis Studios, London. $12.50 for Caravan. Joe Ale. Joe Ale is $10 after the half off. Joe Sample, Carmel, $12.50. Cheryl Ladd, $10. Al Stewart, there's our nightly copy of 24 Carats, $7.50. Wishbone Ash, there's the rub, $10. Wishbone Ash, $10. Art Garfunkel, Angel Clare, $5 for Art Garfunkel. The Who, Quadrophenia, here's a good one that got slipped in, just $20 after the half off. The Who, Quadrophenia, beautiful copy, $20. 2 LP with the booklet. The Real Me is on here. Love Reign Over Me. Burt Jordan on Cheryl Ladd, SCL. That's sold to Burt Jordan. James Newton and the African Flower, the music of Duke Ellington, $5. Pamela Yeager on The Who. I knew that wasn't going to get left behind. Charlie Daniels, Knight Rider, $7.50. Mike Mandel, Utopia Parkway, $12.50 for Mike Mandel. Rufus, Seal in Red. Rufus is $5. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, not Balmer. Pictures at an, boy, that's a nice copy. Pictures at an Exhibition, $10. Doc Smith, first on Bob James. Paul Gill on Charlie Daniels. Charlie Daniels to Paul Gill. Doc Smith also wants Rufus. Everything in here is half off if you're just hopping on. It's a really good bin. Jazz Gala Concert. Jazz Gala Concert is $7.50. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, The Presidential Years, $10 for JFK. Nick Lowe, Labor of Lust. This is a new pressing. This is a remastered 180 gram, just $10. 2011, actually. I think that's some stuff from, we're hitting a small little pocket of Murfreesboro stuff. Doc Smith on Jazz Gala. So did Doc Smith. Ian Lloyd and Stories, $7.50. Gary Samuels on Nick Lowe. Rob Scheffler, The Caravan, was $12.50 after the half off. Joni Mitchell, Don Juan's Reckless Daughter, $10 on Joni Mitchell. Lena Lovitch, No Man's Land, $10. That's a gold stamp promo. Second winner, Johnny Winter. This is a Friday Music. Friday Music, 180 gram remaster, $12.50. 2LP. Rob Scheffler wants Caravan. That's sold to Rob Scheffler. The best, this is Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4, a UK pressing. Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4, that's $10. Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3, $7.50. So Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3 and 4. Brent Rabley first on the Johnny Winter. Ed second. Derek Paris third. That probably costs $60 new. 2LP Friday Music. Their stuff's never cheap. The OJs, Traveling at the Speed of Thought. The OJs, $7.50. So Johnny Winter, Brent, Ed, Derek, and Stacy. Michael Murphy, Blue Sky Night Thunder. This has his hit song Wildfire on it. $7.50 for Triple M, MMM. Renaissance, Ashes Are Burning. Renaissance is $5. Renaissance. Doc Smith on the OJs. That's sold to Doc Smith. Chet Atkins picks on the Beatles. This is fun. Listen if you never listened to this. It's, of course, Chet Atkins on his guitar doing all the Beatles instrumentals. Cool cover, too. I always thought they were Pez dispensers, and then I thought, wait a minute, what year did Pez dispensers come out? Which I don't think was really to like the maybe late 60s, early 70s were some of the first ones. I don't know if they were even that early. And I was like, this is not Pez dispensers. It's just some kind of something, but that's what they look like. I know they had Pez in the early 70s. I don't know when the actual first production one rolled off. 4 people on Chet. Rob Scheffler is first. Paul Gill second. Brent Rabley third. Paul Brothers fourth. The Blasters. Live at the Venue, London. $7.50. The Blasters. Keys to the Country. Barefoot Jerry. Barefoot Jerry. Just $10 now. The Best of Chet Atkins. $7.50. The Best of Chet Atkins. Orange RCA label. Original RCA inner sleeve. $5. Well, actually, there's probably, 64. This wouldn't be the first label. Let me retract that. This is very nice, though. That'd be an early 70s reissue. This originally came out in 64. Wow, lots of people on the Blasters. Ed Nelson was first. Ed Nelson was first on the Blasters. Fred Carnell second. Doc Smith third. Steve Carmichael fourth. Paul Gill first on Chet Atkins. 57 first Pez. Earlier than I thought. I guess they did have them in the 60s because I guess I've had some of the monster ones. Frankenstein, Dracula, and I think those are early 60s. So, yeah, that makes more sense now. Pez. There's evidently, somebody's been telling me to watch this thing on Netflix about the guy who pirated all the Pez dispensers. I don't know if anybody has seen that, but I've heard it's really good. There's Barefoot Jerry. Chet Atkins, From Nashville with Love. Now that is an original label. Mono RCA, probably from 66. That's $5. $5. Chet Atkins. What label is Renaissance? Renaissance is a orange capital label. This is, what year did this come out? 73. That was probably not the original label. Rob Scheffler, first to Chet Atkins, then Burt Jordan, then Paul Brothers. $12.50 for the world's worst records. The Rhino Brothers present the world's worst records. The world's worst records regurgitation receptacle. Wow, it even includes a bag you can barf in as you're listening to these records. That's what this is taped on the cover. It's a barf bag. $12.50. Wow. The original Carter Family in Texas, $5. Western Swing Volume 3 Historic Recordings, $7.50. Willie Nelson and Chris Christopherson, songwriter. That is $7.50. Willie and Chris. Utopia in shrink wrap with Todd Rundgren, $10. 10 Years of Gold, Kenny Rogers. Just dropped in to see what condition my condition's in. $5 for Kenny Rogers. So Chet Atkins went to Rob, then Burt, then Paul, and then Paul Gill again. We've already pulled that one. And Paul Gill first on Carter Family. Paul Gill, you were first to the Carter Family. Russell S. wants the Rhino, the world's worst records. So they assume, I guess that's legitimate too. I don't know if this is like a, like the worst of, or they're saying these are actually really bad songs. I'm not for sure. This might be worth listening to. I'm assuming these are legitimately, they're saying these are terrible songs. I'm assuming that's what that is. That's sold to Russell S. and Brian Ligon wants the Kenny Rogers. That might be worth listening to. Paul Gill wants the Willie and Chris. Okay, Elvin Bishop, Hog Heaven is EX, $5. Paul, you're second on Willie. And Charlie DeFrank says he'll take the Renaissance for $5. That's sold to Charlie DeFrank. I never can remember this one. It's the Blasters again. The Blasters is $10. The Blasters, $10. The Very Best of Mel Tillis, $5 for Mel Tillis. Sonny Rollins, Nucleus. Sonny Rollins, Nucleus, $10. I bet Doc buys that. Harry Chapman, Dance Band on the Titanic. Harry Chapman is $8.50. Floyd Kramer, Last Date. Floyd Kramer, $4. Ahmad Jamal, live at the Montreal Jazz Festival, 1985, $10. Play It Again, Sam, starring Woody Allen, Diane Keaton, Tony Roberts, Jerry Lacey, Suzanne Anspach. That is the soundtrack. There's that radio station mark, WMOT. August 14th, 1972 is when they got that in. $12.50. Whoa. Sean Fairweather first to Sonny Rollins. Fred Carnell first to the Blasters. Ron Duffield, you were next on Blasters. Mike Kennedy, second on Sonny Rogers. Doc Smith, third. Kyle Gregory on FC. Floyd Kramer sold to Kyle Gregory. Doc Smith first to Ahmad Jamal. Mike Kennedy second. And Jenny, the World's Worst Records is already sold. That's already sold. Illinois Jacquette and his big band. Jacquette's got it. $7.50. Which Blasters was it? The Blasters, Fred bought it. Didn't even know what he bought. Hardline. The Blasters Hardline. BJ4, that's Bob James 4, $10. Gary Samuels first to the Illinois Jacquette. Doc Smith, you're second. Bob James 4 was $10. Max Roach, Double Quartet, Bright Moments. Max Roach, $7.50. Wow, it's on Riverside. Jimmy Heath, Nice People. Jimmy Heath, Nice People, $7.50. Doc Smith first on Max Roach. Jack Nicholson, 5 Easy Pieces, featuring songs by Tammy Wynette. Radio station promo copy, $10. Max Roach went to Doc Smith. Ed Nelson was second, and Doc Smith was first on Heath. He got both of those. 5 Easy Pieces soundtrack. Charlie Pride, Night Games. Charlie Pride, $5. Charlie Pride, Back to the Country, $5. Kenny Rogers, Love or Something Like It, $5. Kenny Rogers, Kenny, $5. The History of Country Music Volume 7. History of Country Music Volume 7. $5. Jimmy Rogers, Johnny Cash, Everly Brothers doing Bye Bye Love. Ernest Tubb, Ray Price, George Jones, Ferlin Hosky, Johnny Horton, Patsy Cline, and Bill Anderson. Doc Smith first on Night Games by Charlie Pride. Paul Gill wants Kenny by Kenny Rogers. And Leslie Holt wants Volume 7 Country Music Comp. Burt Jordan, you were second. This is the pocket I grabbed out of that country bin I was telling you about. This next record is $10. It's 30 years of hits. It starts with Bill Monroe, the father of bluegrass in 1958, and then it goes to George Strait, Waylon Jennings, Steve Wariner, Reba McEntire, and Lee Greenwood, Oak Ridge Boys all through the 80s. That looks pretty cool. The George Strait song is Oceanfront Property. Oceanfront Property. What was the, I was curious what the Oak Ridge Boys song was. Elvira. And Rose-Colored Glasses. It's John Conley. Loretta Lynn, Don't Come Home A-Drinking. Patsy Cline again. Kitty Wells. That's pretty cool. Who got that? Burt Jordan was first, then Sherry Darnell, and then Leslie Holt. Regina Tabor wants Charlie Pride back to the country. So 30 years, so did Burt Jordan. Regina got Charlie Pride. Kenny Rogers Gideon, $5 on Kenny Rogers. Ray Stevens, Cracking Up. Humpty Raymond. I think that's what that says, $5. Marty Robbins Today with the really cool race car cover, $5 on Marty Robbins. Charlie Rich, I Do My Swinging at Home. I don't see that one as often, $5. Son's Best of Charlie Rich. This is sealed, $10. This has such songs as Lonely Weekends. Vicki Allison first on Ray Stevens. Tony Caldwell, Marty Robbins, $5. That is sold to Tony Caldwell. John Duran was second. John Schneider, Trying to Outrun the Wind. That is sealed for $15. And Jerry Reed, Georgia Sunshine. Here's a sealed, if you missed out, whoever was second on that other one, here's a sealed copy for $15. A sealed copy for $15. Paul Brothers, you were second to Ray Stevens, and John Duran, you were second on Marty Robbins. I'm going to breeze through these one more time. There's a couple in here that I'm going to call, I can't believe this didn't sell. Paul Gill first to the Jerry Reed, the sealed copy at half off. These are all half off. Buy it now, best offer. If you don't like my half off price, last crate of the night, pay close attention. Quick announcement, we're doing this again tomorrow night, 7 to midnight or later. And this weekend here for the locals or people that want to travel in, sidewalk sale Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday. We have Joe L, $10. Joe Sample is $12.50. Al Stewart, 24 karat, $7.50. Wishbone Ash, $10. Art Garfunkel, $5. Mike Mandel, Utopia Parkway, $12.50. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, $10. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, $10. Ian Lloyd and Stories, $7.50. Joni Mitchell, $10. Lena Lovitch, $10. We had Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4 and Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3, $10 and $7.50. Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4 was a UK version. Burt Jordan wants Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Burt Jordan on Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Michael Murphy has Wildfire on it. Surprised no one's grabbed that for just that song. $7.50. Barefoot Jerry still available. That is $10. Tony Caldwell, Wishbone Ash, $7.50. Sell that to Tony Caldwell for $7.50. Western Swing Volume 3, $7.50. Utopia, $10. That's a nice copy in shrink wrap. Elvin Bishop, EX, $5. Mel Tillis, $5. Harry Chapman, $8.50. The Playing Against Sam soundtrack, $12.50. And Bob James 4, $10. Let's sell JFK to Paul Brothers for $7. JFK, Paul Brothers, $7. Jack Nicholson, 5 Easy Pieces, $10. Kenny Rogers, $5. Kenny Rogers, $5. Charlie Rich, $5. Sealed Charlie Rich, $10. And John Schneider is $15. Michael Martin Murphy is $7.50 after the half off. We're going to sell Dale Sanders, Barefoot Jerry, for $5. That's sold to Dale Sanders, $5. And I have a feeling Nick's going to want this for $7.50. What a great song. Came out 75. Got a couple 5 more. Nick asked the price, and then Gary said he'll take it. So Nick, let me know if you want that for $7.50. If you don't, then it's sold to Gary Samuels. We're going to sell Wayne the Nicholson soundtrack for $5, and we're going to sell Paul Gill Mel Tillis at half off sticker. Let me find Mel. He was right in here somewhere, I think. No, yep, that's sold to Paul Gill at half off, and then Paul Brothers. There's 2 Kenny. Is there another one in here? These 2, 5 and 5. How about 4 and 4? That's $8 for both of them. He says Gary gets it at $7.50. So the Wildfire there that I've already got tagged is sold to Gary Samuels for $7.50. Paul 4 and 4 on those. We've already pulled Mel Tillis. Ron Duffield wants the Elvin Bishop. And then Joey, I just sold Mel Tillis. Joey, I just sold that. Sorry. Right before your question came in, Paul Gill claimed it. And then Paul, what was I looking for? Elvin Bishop, Hog Heaven. That's sold to Ron Duffield at half off. Okay, we almost emptied that bin. Anybody else? John Schneider, Charlie Rich was sealed. Charlie Rich, Bob James, Do It Again Sam. Harry Chapman, Utopia, Western Swing, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Lena Lovich. I'll do both of these for 10 if anybody's interested. I'll do both of those for 10 on the Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Rich just offered 7. I'm thinking 10. Lena Lovich, Joni Mitchell, Ian Lloyd, Mike Mandel, Art Garfunkel, Al Stewart, Joe Sample, and Joe L. Rich, I will let you have them for 10 if you want. Your comment came in at a great time for you. If not, then Tony Caldwell says he'll take them both for 10. So that's up to Richard Group. If not, they'll sell to Tony. Let's sell the sealed Charlie Rich to Burt Jordan for 7. We're getting thinner and thinner. Now I just need somebody to make me an offer on everything that's left. $5,000. Everything that's left, Tanner. What do you think? I did not see that, Dale Sanders. I did not see that. Sorry, when I first come on, I'm usually not looking at comments until like 10 minutes in. He said he'll take the both Blood, Sweat, and Tears for 10. 5 and 5. Is that for everything on the table? No, there's probably more than $5,000 here on the table. I don't know. When you start adding 40, right here's Fly By Night, 40, 80, 120, 160. That adds up. Especially when you get these 50, 100, 150. A crate of new vinyls more than you think. A crate of new vinyl, it actually will add up. It'll surprise you. There's about everything. Probably the average price of every new LP is like 40, probably about $37 would be my guess. I mean, we got 37, 29, 37, 37, 39, 37, 37, 34, 40, 35, 37, 37, 50, 50, 50, 37, 40, 39, 39, 32, 37, 35, 50, 32, 40, 70, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 37, 30, 40, 30, 40, 37. Yeah. Okay, what else did I see? Joe L is Great Louisiana Zydeco. Mike Post said he'll take the John Schneider at half off. Sell that to Mike Post. Did Play It Again Sam sell? Play It Again Sam. It is still available. Play It Again Sam. A radio station promo copy. Let me know if you want that. Any Scorpions. Just the ones that I flipped through in this back bin. I've got Blackout for $28.99. And I think that was the only thing in here. Next comment. So that was sold to Mike Post got John Schneider. Bob James and Utopia, 7 each. Scott Snee. There's Bob James, Utopia. Sell those for 7 and 7. And Coletco. And sell this for Tony to $7.50. Okay, we just took another den out of those. Anybody else? Now it's just Charlie Ridge, Harry Chapman, Western Swing, Lena Lovich, Joni Mitchell, Ian Lloyd, Mike Mandel, Art Garfunkel, Al Stewart, Joe Camel, and Joe L. And with that, I'll end the show. Thanks everybody for watching. Dale Sanders, I will check with my distributors on that. I will see if that's available or up or special order. Sometimes I do special order stuff. If anybody ever wants me to check on something for them, a new vinyl, let me know. I can try to find it for you. And with that, we'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central Time. Please come back and see us. We will be here selling records, and hopefully you can tune in and buy as much as you want. We do this every night, Monday through Saturday, and you can hop on right here and buy records and see a large variety for sure. New, vintage, old, all genres. Thanks and good night.